Jared Goff's historic touchdown catch. The story behind Alcatraz. On Monday night, Lions quarterback Jared Goff made headlines not only for his perfect passing performance but also for catching a touchdown on a trick play dubbed Alcatraz. This marked a unique milestone for Goff, who mentioned that it was likely the first touchdown catch of his football career, dating all the way back to his youth. "I think that's my first one ever. All the way back to 7 years old," Goff remarked, emphasizing the rarity of the moment. The play itself has been a part of the Lions' playbook for several years, but the right opportunity to execute it had never presented itself until now. Goff and wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown had practiced the Alcatraz play for a couple of seasons, waiting for the perfect moment to deploy it. "We called it in a game before, and if it's not the right look, I get out of it. But that was the right look," Goff explained. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who designed the play, has kept the name Alcatraz for reasons Goff is curious about but hasn't yet investigated. "I guess I should ask him why," Goff joked, highlighting the mystery behind the play's nomenclature. The Lions showcased their creativity on offense with this play, following up a previous game where they scored a touchdown on a hook and ladder play. Goff hinted at the possibility of more trick plays in their arsenal, stating, "We have these plays in the game plan a lot and they don't always come up. There has to be the right scenario for them." As the Lions continue to innovate on offense, fans can expect more surprises in the coming games, with Goff leading the charge. Davante Adams prefers trade from Raiders. Jets a potential landing spot? Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams has taken the trade speculation to a new level by formally requesting a trade. The news comes amid ongoing rumors linking him to the New York Jets, fueled by his history with quarterback Aaron Rodgers from their time together in Green Bay. Adams has reportedly informed the Raiders of his preference to be traded. And according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the team would consider dealing the star wideout for a second-round pick along with additional draft compensation. This development raises the stakes for both the Raiders and potential suitors like the Jets. In the current season, Adams has recorded 18 catches for 209 yards and a touchdown, including a standout 110-yard performance against the Baltimore Ravens. Over his 37 games with the Raiders, he has amassed 221 catches for 2.869 yards and 23 touchdowns, solidifying his status as one of the top receivers in the NFL. The Jets have already made moves to enhance their receiving core by signing Mike Williams and drafting Malachi Corley. Despite Williams slowly recovering from a knee injury, he has contributed with 8 catches for 120 yards. However, the Jets might still seek to bolster their options, particularly with their championship aspirations centered around the 40-year-old Rodgers. Adams has previously hinted at a desire to reunite with Rodgers, expressing that if he were to be relocated, it would be alongside his former quarterback. "If I'm gonna be reunited with anybody, it would be Aaron," Adams stated during an interview with Shannon Sharpe. While Adams had claimed to be locked in with the Raiders, his recent trade request indicates a shift in sentiment. As the situation develops, all eyes will be on whether the Jets seize the opportunity to bring Adams to New York and what the Raiders will decide regarding their star receiver. Rodgers praises Mayo for patience with Drake May, as calls intensify for the New England Patriots to start rookie quarterback Drake May. Aaron Rodgers has publicly supported head coach Jerod Mayo's decision to stick with veteran Jacoby Brissett, following a rough start to the season, including a 24-3 loss to the Jets and a 30-13 defeat to the 49ers. Brissett has struggled to effectively lead the offense. Meanwhile, May has reportedly been impressive in practice, raising hopes among fans for a change. Mayo reaffirmed his commitment to Brissett, stating he is 100% the starter moving forward. This stance has drawn mixed reactions, but Rodgers, along with former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, believes it's the right approach for developing May. On The Pat McAfee Show, Rodgers highlighted the importance of patience in nurturing a young quarterback's development, referencing his own experience backing Brett Favre for 3 years. He emphasized that allowing May to learn and grow without the immediate pressure of starting can be beneficial in the long run. Rodgers noted the trend in today's NFL of rushing rookie quarterbacks into starting roles, often leading to detrimental effects on their confidence and performance. He advocated for a more measured approach, emphasizing the need for the right timing in a quarterback's development. When he's ready, when the system is ready, then play him, he said. Mayo cited Brissett's leadership and the challenges of the team's offensive line as factors in his decision. With Brissett having already been pressured significantly this season, the protection of May is a valid concern, as the Patriots prepare to face the Miami Dolphins in Week 5. Expectations are high. If the offense struggles again, the push for May to take over could grow louder among the fanbase. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Bills OC Joe Brady reflects on costly play call in the aftermath of the Bills' disappointing 35-10 loss to the Ravens. Offensive coordinator Joe Brady candidly addressed a pivotal moment in the game, a trick play that went awry. The play involved wide receiver Curtis Samuel taking the snap and flipping the ball to quarterback Josh Allen, who was lined up as a receiver. The intention was for Allen to throw, but he was hit before he could release the ball, resulting in a fumble. Brady acknowledged that the timing of the play was poor, especially with the Bills trailing 21-10 in the third quarter. It was a pretty bad play call, he admitted, emphasizing that he wished he could have that moment back. Head coach Sean McDermott also expressed that he believed Brady regretted the decision, suggesting it was not the right moment for such a trick play given how the game was unfolding. While it's easy to point fingers at a single play in a lopsided loss, the reality is that the Bills need to reevaluate their offensive strategy moving forward. Expect them to adopt a more conservative approach in the coming games as they seek to regain momentum and capitalize on their strengths. Fantasy football fact or fluke, quartermark reflection. As we hit the quarter mark of the fantasy football season, it's crucial to assess player performances without the bias of draft capital or emotional attachment. Let's dive into key players who have surprised us, either positively or negatively, and how to adjust our expectations moving forward. Quarterbacks. Surprising performers. Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Justin Fields are leading the fantasy QB charts, showcasing a mix of expected and unexpected names. Disappointments. Patrick Mahomes, QB 15, injuries to key weapons have hampered his production. He faces a tough matchup against New Orleans, making him a potential bench candidate this week in favor of streamable options like Jordan Love or Brock Purdy. CJ Stroud, QB 12. He's had some strong moments but remains inconsistent. Expect a tougher matchup against Buffalo. Trevor Lawrence, QB 22, a potential bounce-back candidate this week, especially if facing a weak secondary. Takeaway. Rushing QBs are dominating the top rankings, making dual-threat options more valuable. If you have a solid rushing QB, like Fields or Daniels, consider starting them over more traditional pocket passers. Running backs. Surprising performers. DeAndre Swift, RB24, he exploded in Week 4. And with a favorable matchup against Carolina, he's a solid start. Disappointments. Breece Hall, RB16, and Bijan Robinson, RB21, both have underperformed recently. Hall faces a tough Vikings defense, while Robinson's snap share is concerning. James Cook, RB10, his performance has been inconsistent since his Week 2 breakout. Takeaway. Monitor the matchups closely. Players like Swift should be started against favorable defenses, while others like Hall might be risky bets this week. Wide receivers. Surprising performers. Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors, and Jaden Reed have emerged as reliable options. Disappointments. Garrett Wilson, WR43, he should be producing more given his talent. The tough matchups have limited his opportunities, but with a potential favorable matchup against Minnesota, he could see a rebound. Takeaway. Better days are ahead for Wilson, especially if the Jets can stabilize their QB situation. Keep him in your lineup with cautious optimism. Conclusion. As we reflect on the first quarter of the season, it's vital to reassess expectations based on performance rather than sentiment. Players can rebound or regress based on matchups and changing team dynamics. Stay proactive in your lineup decisions, especially as we approach Week 5. Adjust your strategies, and consider trading or picking up players who might capitalize on emerging trends.